like microaggressive. But hi guys. For some, maybe welcome back if you already saw my first video, and I'm hoping that there are some new ones. So welcome. My name's Anushka. I'm finally shooting my second video today. I have a newer topic to yap about today. I don't know if I mentioned it, but I was going to film like this video on Tuesday, and I couldn't because I was, as usual, overthinking and anxiety. But then today I was like, we're gonna sit down and make it because I'll tell you what, overthinking and anxiety is not also about the fact that what people are gonna say, that's just one part of it. But it's also about, is this a fun thing to talk about? Do people actually want to hear it? But then I realized that was not the whole point of this channel. It was just to be able to pick up topics, talk about certain things that I really love, and I'm gonna do that. Something that I spoke about in the first video, and something I am really very passionate about, is TV shows and movies, right? I thought I was gonna do a rundown and some of my favorite shows that I watched this year and just talk a little bit about that. I have made a list of some TV shows and movies that I watched this year that I think were really good that I would like to talk about. Not all of them have like positive reviews, and also it's not a list of all the content I've watched. Some of them I don't think needs to be spoken about. Like I don't think I have anything good or bad to say about it. Like it just went by, right? Some shows I might have like 2 lines to say, and some I might have like 200. We will see. I think I really want to stop speaking so much. Let's just get down to all the shows and reviews, right? Okay. So the first show I want to talk about is this show on Netflix. I don't have all the details about when the show was released and all of that, right? I've just written the show name and the streaming platform that you can go and like check it out. But the show was called Something Very Bad Is Going to Happen. Now I'll tell you how I ended up watching and like why I wanted to watch this show, right? The Duffer Brothers, who have created Stranger Things, were the executive producers of this show, and I think that was enough. I just saw their name and I was like, someone like them producing a show means it's something in the show that I really want to watch. It was like a little bit like a longer series or something like that, 1 hour episodes each. I'll tell you one thing about this show that I absolutely loved was the direction and most importantly the cinematography of the show. It was so good. It was very refreshing to watch. I remember first 2 episodes, there were certain scenes where I was like, the way this has been shot, the angle, the lighting, the kind of like it's just it's something very simple, but the way it's being shot makes it a lot more better, if that makes sense, right? Very small things, like very, very small things. It like some people might not even notice, but I did, and I really loved it the way it was shot. Sometimes like I saw a certain clip and I was like, wow, this was a very interesting way to show a next thing, right? That was really fun. I think the main lead of the show, or the girl who played Rachel, I think the character name, I am not aware of that actor. I don't know if she's done any previous work. She was so good in the show, so good. Like I would just say, I would for her now to use spoilers in any of these reviews, right? Because I think you should go end up watching it. I will give you a little bit gist of what the plot was. Rachel is supposed to get married to this guy, and they end up going to his parents' cottage or something like that, where they're supposed to get married, right? And then throughout the show, there's a lot that keeps happening to her that does make her question if she wants to get married to this guy, while also getting to know a lot about her own family history. So a lot of that gets mixed together, and then the way the show ends and all of that. The story was good. It wasn't completely out of line of like what was happening or something like that. It did keep me hooked for sure. I think I was watching more than one episode like at least every day, right? But yeah, it was a good show. If I had to rate the show, I would kind of give it like a 8 on 10 situation, because I really think the show was really interesting. Moving on, how I watched it again was through, because I saw someone, make a post. Like I get very easily convinced, guys. I'll watch like one post and one reel and I'm like, okay, now I need to do this. So I watched something on Instagram where they were talking about the ending of this, a show like completely blew my mind off. And I was like, okay, I need to watch, because that are the kind of shows I really like watching. It's called His and Hers, that's on Netflix. This is more of a thriller show is a book adaptation. So again, I think that's one of the big things for me. I really like when people and couple of years, right? And like this whole year, we have a lot of book adaptation, which I'll talk about later. But it was a book, and I have high hopes when books are turned into movies, right? Or show. Sorry, this was a show. It was a TV show. Of course, Tessa Thompson was like the lead of the show. The actors did a good job. Did it really blow my mind off completely? No, because let me tell you again, without giving any spoilers, what the ending was is something I kind of saw coming by the third or fourth episode. There was one particular scene that happened where, like, I watched that scene and I'm like, okay, you know what? I think this is how it's gonna end. And of course, then they kind of divert you from that, and then they taking you back to other things. But then when the show ended and what the actual plot was, I was like, oh, okay, this I kind of saw coming. Like, if you remember, I spoke about this in my last video, right? This habit where I will start making notes and theories about, okay, what's going to happen and all of that. So, did Hazen House really blow my mind off? Not really. I'm going to be honest, it did. Because I kind of saw that coming. But was it a good show? It was. Because a lot of people, it did really blow their mind off. Like, a lot of them were not able to see that this is something that's going to happen, right? Giving you a little bit of the plot now and the gist of what the story was. There's a murder that happened in a small town, and there is this couple that's separated. The guy is a police officer, and the girl is a reporter, and she comes down to this town to report it. And this is also the town where like, this is her childhood. Now, like, this is where she grew up. So coming back to it, there's a lot of memories that come with it. There's a lot of trauma that's there in her childhood town, like where she grew up and all of that. And yeah, the whole show revolves around solving this murder mystery, who's done it and all of that. So there are some interesting plots, I will not lie. It's not that it's completely like it's not boring, for sure. If you're someone who is not watching like these kind of shows intensely like I do and like very particular about solving everything, it's a good watch. I would give it like a 6.5 out of 10 for me, because again, like I kind of saw that coming. Even though I saw, kind of saw that coming, it was like a decent end. That's what I'm saying, right? I don't think just because I saw it coming, it doesn't make it like a good show or something like that. But because I saw it coming, and I was like, okay, this is like kind of basic, like, not sure if this is something that again blew my mind off, but it was a good show. Certain direction points in that show was also really nice. Like, I will just tell you one part without like, I hope it's not a spoil you, that there are certain lines, okay, throughout the episode. Every episode starts with a certain line with a little bit of the narration from the female lead, and in the end all of that ties together into a beautiful way, which I will not tell you how, but that does. And that was like, okay, see, that I loved that. When I was watching the last episode and I saw like while the scene was happening, I'm like, oh my god, this was the introduction and intro of every single episode. So that was good. I like little things like this, right? It makes something like a particular show very interesting for me. But overall, as a thriller and all of that, I think it is a little overrated on Instagram. Like, everyone was talking about it a lot, and I think it was decent enough. Moving on to the third show, staying to Netflix, because I remember I watched His and House, and within a week I watched this next show. Again, a book to movie adaptation, so loved it. I get very easily convinced when those things happen. It is called Runaway by Harlan Coben. And like, Netflix has done a lot of movies about the books that he's written. I think there was Fool Me Once, there are like a lot of others. Name that I read, I don't remember, but because I remember Netflix, there was a whole section of his name and movies. So a lot of his books have been turned into movies, and like, I think really popular movies as well. I've not watched all. This was the first one I watched. I really enjoyed the show. This was so much like, I think after His and Hers, my expectations. Like Runaway also I got to know because again someone spoke on Instagram. And like I said, I'm very easily convinced that I have to watch it. And I was like, yeah, it's just gonna end up like a His and Hers, situation. It's not gonna be that great. But I was like, I'll give it a try, right? Because like I said, when I saw that it's the author that his books have been converted into a lot of movies. I think that just gives me a little bit more hope that it'll be nice. But yeah, coming back, I really did actually enjoy the show. There are like so many characters in the show. There is so much going on. There are like at least like 5-7 mini stories going on in like this huge the main story that is. And I love that. I love that my brain starts getting confused that, okay, now there's so much happening. How are you gonna tie this and all of that to the end? But that is what made it fun, because every episode, like, let's just put it this way, there are like 5 stories happening here. This is your main story, and every episode, all those mini stories are coming one step closer to the main story. You know what I'm saying? Doesn't make sense. It makes sense to me. But it was really good. Like, again, it starts a bit slow. You have to give it a little bit of time. But at the end of it, I did not see that end coming. Let me put it that way. I did not. And I think that is partially because they had me confused with so many more stories going, which maybe I kind of like also, because then I did not think only about the possibility of what the ending was going to be. And the ending was nice. It was something like, I was like, what? Really? That was cool. I like it when I have that reaction when I end up watching shows, right? If you know the plot of this show, I truly don't know how to do that because there's, like I said, there's so much going on. There's this girl who runs away from her house. She comes from a very well-to-do, wealthy family, and it's a story about her parents looking for her, and how again it ties back. It will tie back to like so many things that have happened. Like this is a simple story. Like this is just with what it starts with, and like I said, there are like 10 other mini stories throughout the show. But yeah, that it was a really good show. I really enjoyed it. I should watch a lot of Harlan Coben movies now. I think I should give it a try. But yeah, I would definitely rate this show like 8.5 out of 10 because it does get slow like sometimes, but I think again, that's just bound to happen when you're watching like a thriller or a mystery kind of show. Some plots will get a little slow at times, but yeah, it was a great show. So 8.5 on 10. Good rating for the show, right? These were the 3 Netflix shows that I watched that were more in the thriller and mystery kind of genre. Should we complete Netflix shows and then move to like Prime shows, or should I just complete the genre first? I'm really confused. I think I'm gonna stick to the genre. So let's just try and complete like shows that were more into the thriller and mystery kind of this, right? And then we'll move on to the other shows. Another show I watched was on Prime Video. It was called 56 Days. It had Dove Cameron in it. Very interesting show. Very. I will first talk about the insane chemistry that the show had. Like I don't expect that when I'm watching a thriller show. Like for me, again, like I said, I'm very interested in thriller. What's the plot of the show gonna be? How it's gonna end? All of that. Like my brain works differently when I'm watching shows like that. But that show, oh my god, such good chemistry. It was so good. It made the show a lot more fun. Let's just put it that way. I would give you like a plain gist about like there's a couple that meets by chance and they start this relationship of 56 days. How that happens. There's a murder that happens that's like shown in the first episode, and of course, what you don't know is who's murdered. The show runs getting to know about the couple who's in the relationship, getting to know like we're inching closer who is it that's actually been dead. Show was really good. It was a good thriller. Actors who were also playing like the detectives in the show were also really good. Again, mini stories, mini character development happening there as well. So it kind of made it really nice. I was recommending it to a lot of people because, like I said, the chemistry was so good. The thriller part was so good, and I think the story was really fluid. So I really enjoyed the show. It was really good. I would honestly rate this maybe like a 9 out of 10. It was really good. Like I will tell you, I watched that show and then I was just on loop watching the interviews, of the actors who are in the show, and like that tells you like I really got obsessed with the whole show and I'm like, I want to keep watching it again and again. Not the show, like the actors together with their interviews or whatever. Would I rewatch the show? I might. It was like honestly good. But yeah, it's a good show. Give it a try. 56 Days or now Prime Video. Sticking to Prime Video, another movie I watched. It technically came out in 2025 in theaters, but it came down on 2026. That's when I watched it. Was The Housemaid. Again, a book to movie adaptation. Loved it. I read The Housemaid. Love it. I love the book. Sorry, let's just first talk about the book. I read the book like a month or two before it got released in theaters, so I was like very fresh with that story, and then I was like, what's coming out as a movie or whatever. the first thing that I will talk about this movie, right? The casting of this movie was so good, so good, so good. Michele Morano being casted for Enzo was just chef's kiss. No other man who could have played that character so good. Like I remember watching the cast and I was like, wow. And I'll tell you where this comes from, right? Like if you are someone who reads books, the movie It Ends With Us that starred Blake Lively. The casting of that was really sad for a lot of book readers, right? Of course, I think the you can't make everyone happy. There will always be a few people who are disappointed, but I think you drifted away from how they were supposed to look or be a lot. And I get it that they, playing an older character, like everyone assume like younger people, which you can't because the plot of that movie, It Ends With Us, was a lot more serious. So you needed to have like certain people. But I think the cast, let's just say people were disappointed. Cast, like I was saying, right? Both the female leads, Sydney Sweeney, honestly was a great choice for that character. In terms of the way she looked and also in the terms of the way the character needed to be done. Like you needed to have someone who was like playing dumb and all of that, right? So I just think she was a great fit. Amanda Seyfried also, oh my god, that's such good casting. Like I get really happy when people cast the right kind of people for a particular TV show or movie, right? I think a cast can make or break your entire show or movie, right? Like sometimes you can have something really beautiful written, but if you're not taking a good person for it, it will go down to it. Like it will not work, right? And on the other hand, sometimes when I think you might not have the best movie, but if you have really good cast and they're like there's a whole chemistry happening between everything, it really works well. So, anyways, the housemaid story, because I read the book, I knew how it was gonna end, and it's a good movie. I remember when I was reading it, I was like, I was not feeling the best with the way it ended again because it's so overhyped, right? Like, oh my god, the ending and all of that. I did not see the ending coming. I will tell you that, but was the ending something that blew my mind off? Not necessarily, but it's a good thriller kind of movie or like book if that's what you're reading. But yeah, it was a good watch again, purely because of the casting. What a great job the actor had done, right? I would definitely give it a 9 out of 10 just for the casting. The casting really made me go like, wow, wow. Yeah, that is the other thriller kind of show that I watched on Prime. That gets us to the end of the whole thriller section of this year so far. I would love to know if anyone has any recommendations of mystery and thriller shows. Like I said, I love watching it. There are a lot more I think I should be watching. I don't have the time like right now to watch, and also like I think I need to take like breaks. I've realized if I watch a show right now and if I'm watching one in like let's say mostly less than a week, I'm sometimes mentally not prepped for it. Like I need to be in that zone to watch all of this and like because a lot of it is like very long, like 10 episodes, 1 hour each is like a lot of content to consume at once. So and I will like end up binge watching. So I take breaks or whatever. But yeah, tell me like let me know what are your favorite if you have any thriller shows, and it doesn't need to be 2026, right? I'm open to like any, but something that completely blew your mind off. Because I get really mad when the ending is not good, right? I'm like, oh, you just wasted my time, and I don't like that. Now I'm just gonna go off randomly because there isn't a particular genre or anything like that. It was like Netflix, so the season that I watched, right? I watched season 3 for Exo Kitty. It was nice, it was cute. I don't know how I feel about Nino and Kitty actually getting together as a couple. I think the chemistry was really there for me when they had banter and all of that. I don't know if it did the same for me when they got together. Like their chemistry in interviews is so good. So good. They do give off like, that they're in love and actually a couple or something. But I don't know if the show did that for me this season. But it was a fun watch, right? Of course, there's a lot more to that show than just the lead couple or whatever. There's so much about friendship this season, and I love that. Also, our girl Lara Jean got back this season. So, I love nostalgia hitting me like this with shows and movies. So, I mean, Peter came back in season 2, and then when Lara Jean came back in season 3, it was amazing. There was so much sister bonding and friendship in this season that I think that's what I'm taking away from this season, right? And also, like, I think this is one of those shows where they'll keep making 10 seasons and I know I'll watch it, right? Like, yeah. So, I don't know if I should critique it much because I will end up watching it, but that's what I watched this year. Really loved it. I would give the season like an 8 or 10, maybe. Yeah, that's what I would give. While we are on the topic of this, another show that I ended up watching this year, Bridgerton season 4 came out this year, and oh my god, that was so good. Like, I've not read the books from Bridgerton, right? So I love that. I kind of know the plots of all the couples by this point, but it's still so fun and refreshing. I spoke about this last time, and I'm gonna talk about it again, and I'll keep talking about it for as long as I can. That Shonda Rhimes is an amazing person when it comes to making shows like this, right? The fact that she can give me shows like How to Get Away with Murder and then give me shows like Bridgerton also will always blow my mind off, right? Of course, there's a lot of good people working on it. I don't want to take away from it. I don't think I might know the names of everyone, but like Shonda Rhimes' whole like that's the one that sticks with me, right? Like loved season 4 of Bridgerton. Sophie and Benedict were sweethearts. They were so cute. You know that scene where Enchanted by Taylor Swift is playing. Oh my god, that was such a good moment. Like I will tell you, of course, till season 4 came out, season 2 was like my favorite season of Kate and Anthony, but I think this season kind of is above season 2. But as a season, right, as a whole, not just to do with the lead. I really loved this season a lot, so it would be like season 4, season 2, season 1, and season 3. That's how I would rank it now. Not that I was asking, but that is how I would. I cannot wait for season 5. We know who's gonna be about, and I'm really excited about that. I know season 5 has been getting a lot of hate for reasons you know about, and I think it's a crap load of bullshit. And if I'm not getting deep down into it right now, I think I'm gonna rant about it some other time. But I'm really excited for season 5. Cannot wait for Francesca and Kayla's story. So I was hoping it would be Eloise, but I think I'm just gonna wait. The wait will be more than season 6 will actually be really nice and it'll be really fun. I think while I'm on the topic of Netflix, we're just going to finish now everything that I watched on Netflix. People We Meet on Vacation, really loved it. Again, book to movie. This book was really very popular. I had not read the book, but I knew about it. I knew it was like a fan loved book or something like that. And the movie was really cute. I watched it. It was fun. Watched the characters were so good. Great, insane chemistry, and I can tell. I think they were very close to the book. Like even if I've not read that book, I can tell when certain plots are a little closer to what the book was supposed to be. And I think people were also happy, like the ones that read it. So, People We Meet on Vacation was a really cute movie. Cute concept of two best friends who every year plan a vacation, and during that vacation are living like different people, are like living as different identities or whatever, right? And how this goes on from like when they're like teenagers or something like that, I think, to adulthood, and how that shapes their friendship and then maybe a relationship also, right? It was really fun. It was a cute movie. Definitely give it a 9 because it's just rom-coms. I love it. Absolute favorite when it comes to like again a book to movie adaptation is my favorite thing going on right now. So we'll always love that. Thing that I watched on Netflix, which I'm really excited to talk about, and I don't care what anyone is gonna say. I mean, it's technically a TV show. It's more like a documentary. But I watched The Dinosaurs on Netflix, and I loved it. I absolutely loved it. I know it's technically supposed to be for kids, but I'm really fascinated by dinosaurs. I'm like extremely, I think, nerdy about that thing, and it was so fun. I mean, it was made very well. Also, Morgan Freeman was like narrating the whole show, so that in itself is like great. When it's him, it's gonna be like a great watch or something like that. Like, you would really like to hear him talk about certain things or whatever, right? But it was really fun. There's a lot I learned about all of those eras that existed before the Jurassic era. This is like a weird this to put in this whole list of shows and movies that I've watched, but I really enjoyed the documentary. It was really fun. I would definitely give that a 9 out of 10. It was so good, so good. I think it's just 4 episodes. I really enjoyed it. I've really enjoyed the Jurassic movies as well. So very fascinated and very into this whole dinosaur world or whatever, right? Yeah, that was really fun. So I watched that this year, and you should give it a try. Even if you're not into dinosaurs, I think it's fun to watch. watch. I think that kind of ends my whole Netflix watch. I think we are down to just talking about 2 or 3 things more. The show I watched this year, it was again a season. High Potential is the show. Absolutely loved the show. Though I then later got to know it's a French show that was then, like an English version of it. But such a good show. The characters, the actors that are playing. It's basically this woman who has an absolutely wild IQ for things, and the way she will sort, like, I want to be Morgan. Let's just put it that way. That's what I'm trying to be like. I want my brain to be able to work like that, like when I'm looking at clothes and whatever, right? She was like the cleaning staff at this, I think at LAPD, and she got discovered there because she randomly solved the case, and then now she works as a consultant for the LAPD, and then throughout every episode she's solving a new case and all of that. It's so fun. It's so good. I would rate the season a good 8.5 out of 10. The first season was my absolute favorite. That would have been a 10 out of 10 for me. I think overall a good 8.5 is what I would give the show. So that was really fun. High Potential on Disney Hotstar was a good watch. Definitely give it a try. Okay, I think we're at the end of this whole video. There's just one other movie I think I want to really talk about that I watched in 2026. Which is a very famous movie. Absolutely loved it. I'm really sad I didn't watch it in theaters. I'm not sure again if this came out in 2025 or 2026. Give me a sec. Okay, it was 2025 technically, but it came down to OTT on 2026, so that's when I watched it. It was Zootopia 2. Yeah, I loved it. It was so good. I watched Zootopia. I don't think I watched it when it came out. Maybe like a couple of years, maybe like 2020, 2021 is when I watched it. Such a cute film. I really love animated movies, guys. Like, I don't care that I'm 25. I think I'm gonna keep watching it for like maybe when I'm 30, 40, 50 years old. Also, it's cute. There's a part of me that feels a certain kind of joy watching these movies, and I think it's like I said, it's a very opposite spectrum. I watch like all these bloody mystery horror shows, and then I also watch like cute movies and cute shows like this. So a good balance, I would say, right? But yeah, Zootopia 2, loved it. I don't think there's much to talk about. Judy and Nick, Dad Wolf and Bunny have a lot of chemistry. Let's just say it's but very cute. The story is very cute. I would definitely give it a 10 out of 10. It was absolutely amazing. What a watch. I'm going to rewatch it again like in a couple of days. But yeah, I think that's the only animated movie I watched this year so far. I think there's a lot more coming in this year, so we will see how that actually ends. That's it, guys. That's like the end of this whole list. These were the TV shows and movies and documentaries that I watched this year so far that I really liked, or I at least had some thoughts on. I'm looking forward to a lot more TV shows and movies that are coming this year. This year is a lot about book to movie adaptations. Really excited for that. There's like Verity coming from Colleen Hoover. There's Off Campus coming on Prime Video, I think in a week or so. There's Love Hypothesis coming. Also, this gets me to the point, oh my god, I just filmed another video, like a reaction kind of thing for this, but there was this book series that I spoke about in my first video, right, the Winter City series. She just announced yesterday her series is getting converted into a TV show by Amazon Studios. So excited. It's one of my absolute favorite book series, and to see all of them come to life right with the TV show, I really hope they don't disappoint us with the casting. I'll be so sad. But I'm really excited for this. I don't think it's gonna come out this year. I think it's gonna go into production this year, so maybe next year or something like that. But very excited for that. A lot of book to movie adaptations coming. I think this was it, guys. This is all the shows and all the movies that I ended up watching this year, and it was really fun. I want to end every video with this, that if you don't have anything nice to say, please don't say it. But if you do, like I said, give this video some love. Give me some more suggestions that you think I should watch. I think you have a good idea of the kind of genre of movies and TV shows that I really like watching, right? So tell me if you have anything more that you think I should watch, and I will give it a try. But yeah, I think that's it for this video. I will see you next time to yap about something different very soon. Like I said, the goal is to be consistent with this. So yeah, I think that's it, guys. I'll see you in the next video.